Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It's Thursday. Dan, we have 5% darts play. RJ sitting here in the chat, just casually cashing LSU minus 4.5. This is what we do on this show, man. Come on in here, Dan. We got a big show. NBA is back, but congrats, RJ, brother. Fantastic cash, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, absolutely great stuff. That's what we love. And, the live viewers, whether you're commenting, watching live, we're always going back and forth with you. And sometimes, when someone's running hot, when we like what when they're dropping, we make sure we share it with you. Yesterday he said, lay 4.5 in college baseball with LSU. Andy, it wasn't even close. You could have laid 9.5. You could have laid 10.5. It was an absolute gobsmack win, and that's the time of year that we're in, folks. So welcome on into Wager Talk today. He's Andy, I'm Dan. We got 3 great guests coming on here. Gianni the Greek is back. That's right, we're going to do the Steam report with him, find out what he's seeing, some movers and shakers. NBA is back as well, folks. We got NBA action for you. Joe Raineri breaking down Pistons, Knicks, Celtics, Warriors, and NBA reopening night action. Kyle Anthony is coming on here. He's talking UFC Houston, going to talk that main event and give you a best bet further down the card. And Andrew McInnis will shut things down for us. So I said 3 great guests. Guys, I lied. 4 great guests as the Olympic Hockey Semifinals are in action. Andrew McInnis is going to give you best bets on both of those. A man who is on I believe, 12-4 run here in Olympic hockey. So that's what's coming with our guests. But in the chat, yeah, keep those plays coming, folks, because great cash for our man RJ, man. I'm pumped up for today.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't know, but we're going to build a parlay and give away a 3-day pass if the parlay hits. So we got a jam-packed show. We're going to do WTF LFG at the end of the show. I'm going to do an NBA player prop. Dan, you were on the fence about a Europa League soccer play, but
I didn't
not
love
good
it.
Enough for time.
Yeah, I got a barking dog. I'll tell you what the play is. We won't make it official. We'll tell you towards the end of the show here. It just wasn't enough to quite get me there on a Thursday, but we'll give you a Europa League free play too. So there you go, Andy. Everything. We're going on the pitch, the hardwood. We're going on the college baseball diamond. Tomorrow we'll be going on the lacrosse field. We're going on the darts. What is that? Just what is the darts arena, Andy? The darts lane?
I don't know what it is, but I know somebody dropped out today. I was like, really, you can make your darts match? Come on, Ozempic. His name's Ozempic Van Gerwen. All right, let's bring in Gianni. Gianni, happy Thursday.
Yanni,
NBA's back,
buddy.
Brother. How's everything going for you?
Never better, man. Never better. Just really excited about what's ahead. The NBA is back. I have updated power ratings in NBA, in college basketball. So excited as we get more and more data. I feel more and more confident heading into today's games. Up over 50 units in the NBA, up over 30 in college basketball, sitting number 1 in NHL. So it's that time of the year we can still do damage. Baseball is coming up and really set up for it nicely. Got some accounts, new ones that are going to be just for baseball. So again, the next couple months, we'll have plenty to take advantage of. But just want to share real fast, I do have a free pickup over at WagerTalk, a 4% soccer bet. It's a 4% soccer total that's still available. It's in Mexican League, so should be available at most books. It's their main division, 4% play. I also put out NBA best bet over at Sports Memo for only $7. That's sitting there at Sports Memo. Can't forget about those guys over there doing some good work. And before we go into games, I just have to share this real quick. Chilling, watching TV with my girl, and I'm flipping through, and I see the Olympics. I stop at the Olympics. Curling is on. And I'm like, babe, you ever see that before? She's like, what is that? I'm like, that's curling. It's a sport. She's like, it's a sport. I'm like, yeah, it's a sport. She's like, did they make that up like during COVID? I'm like, no. It's a real sport. She thought they didn't have nothing to do during COVID, so they just came up with this.
Started throwing rocks.
Yeah, with brooms and ice and shit. I'm like, no. They actually play that in other countries.
That's hilarious, man.
Had to share that. But yeah, a lot to get to, man. A lot of NBA, a lot of college basketball.
Well, let's get to it. Don't tease us with the power rankings. And,
all right,
what
what do we got?
I'll dive
NBA,
right in.
Of course.
We all know Oklahoma City is the best team in the NBA. Okay, they're about 2.5 points better than the next best team in the NBA, and that's the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics, power rated wise, are the next best team in the NBA, followed by the New York Knicks. I know that surprises some people. Followed by the New York Knicks, who are followed by the Detroit Pistons, who are then followed by San Antonio and Cleveland, that are pretty much a pick 'em against each other. So you have the power ratings, top 5, 6 going into the second half of the NBA season. Here's a couple steam moves. I gave out 2 premiums already. Here's some that are in the steam sheet. One side, 514, the Spurs, minus 7.5. 501, Atlanta, Philadelphia, over 236. 505, Houston, Charlotte, under 218.5. 517, Orlando, Sacramento, over 224. And I saw that just got hit again at over 225. Now, college basketball, nothing changed at the top. Duke, number 1. Houston, number 2. Michigan, number 3. Florida, number 4. Arizona, number 5. Those are my top 5 compared to the AP and KenPom. KenPom does have Florida in his top 5. So I like that. But the AP still has Iowa State in their top 5. They just made my top 10. Who else do they have up there? Otherwise, we're pretty close. We're pretty close. They have Connecticut in number 6. I have them out of my top 10. I have Nebraska not even in my top 20. They have them in their top, 7? Another team, Kansas, they're out of my top 10. They're in the top 10 there. Michigan State, barely in my top 20. They're ranked 10 in the AP. So a lot to still take advantage of in college basketball. That's why I really like the sides. Here's a couple of the sides from the steam sheet. A lot already in there. But let me give you some of the stuff. Regular games, 805 Lindenwood plus the 4.5, 771 Memphis plus the 9, 775 Monmouth plus the 8, 808 Tennessee Tech plus 2.5, 833 Cal Poly plus 11.5, and then added board 306 579 Vermont Pick and 306 587 Lemoyne plus the 4.5. Couple more are on the steam sheet, obviously, and some NBA, and I'll be adding to it throughout the day. As I said, they've changed up how they've been firing, and a lot of stuff comes in right after that 1 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern. You start seeing a lot of the college basketball and NBA moves as the off-screen books put up player props and all of that for, the entire board.
All right. Well, you have to send this picture to your girl here. Dan, let's pull it up. So this is
curling. This is old school curling where they're ripping.
Wow.
This is 1968, Gianni. The man was
smoking a
cig.
He's got a cigarette in his mouth?
Yes, he's got a dart
in his mouth
right there.
That's amazing.
Olympic. But look at the crowd.
Yeah,
packed.
When men were men, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Just ripping darts, man. That's electric right
there.
Still no Olympic bets for you?
No, and I'm upset,
Nothing
man, because those are the kind that win. Like Mexican soccer, that kind of stuff just happens to win more than anything else. So when I see those smaller markets, I get so excited. But we're not getting down, man. We're not getting down. At least not with me, not with the accounts that I provide. But like I said, I know they're betting it just into those smaller accounts. And unfortunately, I don't have enough of those. I wish I did, actually, because, those smaller sports. Also, some of the props that I'm not able to get. Just a lot of those lower limit stuff. So, I haven't been betting the Olympics, but I know anyone that has that sharp's been doing really well. So I'm sure you guys have been doing pretty good.
I have not fired off any Olympic.
Oh, wow.
Olympic bets. Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm protecting my accounts. I've gotten dinged on my tennis doubles plays. So
they don't like that. They don't like
no, they don't like that at all.
to Yanni's point, Andrew, who's going to be coming on here, 12-4 here in Olympic hockey. So a guy who handicaps hockey, who he does the world tournaments. So he knows these teams even heading into this 75% run. So to Yanni's point, the people who are handicapping these things and really grinding out, if you're not worried about your account getting limited, they're definitely cashing in here as they do every.
He needs to throw in some teasers, some foolish NBA total.
Exactly,
teasers,
put in some. You got to dummy up the account, or you're done.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe just money line parlays. Throw four of the best favorites in tonight. Just $10.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. We found a way to hit up Bet365 darts plays. So I have to do that. I have to throw in some good. I have to throw in some BS parlays to kind of throw them off the side. I don't know if it works. I think it does.
And now that they're the new sponsor for UFC, they're going to be offering more and more and bigger limits. Yeah, that's a good out to have.
Yeah, absolutely. What else are we seeing here in the basketball markets coming out of All-Star break? Are these guys firing big plays because they think they have an edge with the lines? Because you don't really know what these teams are going to be doing here. I see the starting lineups, but even take Philly, Embiid's not playing. It's well, he had a week off. Still can't start. What's the take coming here off the All-Star break?
It's all totals, except for later in the day. I think once there's some more confirmations, or maybe some lines get knocked out of whack by the public if they bet some sides, it's been all totals. And that worries me a little bit because, again, I probably put 7-8 totals on that Steam sheet, but I only released 2 to my subscribers because I'm always cautious with those totals because there is a lot of buyback. And it's not even manipulation. It's just the fact that they move so significantly, you're forced to play some middle. If you have that big of a middle, you have to do it. It's plus EV. These guys don't care about, how the game's going to turn out. They just care about placing plus EV bet. And if it pops up that right now you have a plus EV opportunity because you went over 233 and it's 238, they're going to come in and bet that under 238. And as a bettor that, is trying to read the market and determine what's going on, that makes life very difficult. That's why I'm very selective with the NBA. It's worked. But I think if I was piggybacking all the stuff that's sharp that I could think is sharp and release it to subscribers, I'm not too sure we'd be up. Maybe if we got the first number, got down to really good numbers. But I think if you bet them late, I don't think you've made money. I would say you probably lost money piggybacking all that steam late and not taking good numbers. Because, again, the NBA is just that kind of market. And until we get to the playoffs, I'm very cautious on totals and even sides. I'm more confident when I see player props. They've been blasting and doing really good on player props. They're just really time sensitive because those lines move quickly.
All right, Gianni, it's an awesome Thursday. What do you have up for everyone for today? What's going on this weekend? I know we got UFC. You got a ton of stuff.
We do. I already fired 4 UFC bets. Those are up. There's a package up for Saturday coming off, I think 70% over the last 2 UFC events. So I said 2026 was going to be a good year for MMA. Sticking by that. We got a long way to go, though. But so far, so good. Steam sheet is up with the best bet in the NBA. Also, a couple premiums sent out to subscribers. If I could find the best, 4%, I'll package that up as well. Otherwise, there's a standalone strong play in college basketball over at Sports Memo. So, yeah, man, we're just grinding as we head into the weekend and open free Steam room on Saturday. We'll be doing NBA college basketball, UFC, NBA, NHL, everything. I hope NHL. They're still on break. Covering on Saturday. That'll be live, free, open to everyone, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So join us for that. And best of luck. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with some winners for you guys.
All right, Yanni. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, VR. Gotta love it, Andy.
Yeah, we had a question about let's pull it NBA money lines. I'll give you one. The Wizards plus money against my Pacers. My Pacers, Dan, They are doing the right thing. Pascal Siakam is not playing tonight. They are.
Wonder what that indicates, Andy. It was interesting.
I don't think they're being so sly about it. But yeah, coming out of the All-Star break, you put your best player. So NBA money lines on Marion. Yeah, the Wizards. I would say the Wizards plus money against my Pacers. Anybody plus money against my Pacers moving forward, they are in full tank mode. You have to remember, the Pacers made a trade where they get their pick if it's number 1, 2, 3, or 4, but it goes to the other team if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. They need to lose every single freaking game. So
it just depends how much they rigged the lottery this year. If it's going to work out for them, is what it sounds like to me, right, Andy? They just they gotta trade their best player. They got to get in well with Silver, make sure everything's good to go, so their ping pong ball can get pulled. Is what this sounds like.
It's don't hate the teams, don't hate the organizations, hate the system. I'm serious. Like, it just this is the way that the system works. I know people don't like teams that tank, but the fact is tanking works. It just Wembanyama is on the San Antonio Spurs because tanking works.
Wait, the process works? Where's my championship then? Where's my Sixers championship? I was there. If the tanking is going to work for me, Andy, we did it better than anyone. And what do we have to show for it?
Okay.
Neal Okafor.
So here's what I'll say. Yeah, you guys have only made the second round since the process. All right, but they did get the picks they wanted. They tanked. It just they drafted Noel and a few other
but
players.
Still, Sixers fans will tell you, if Kawhi didn't make that basket, man, they were winning a championship. That's what Sixers fans will tell you.
I know. All right, let's bring in Joe Raineri, and we got to talk some NBA.
Captain
NBA
America
back, baby. Look, oh man. Can we pull up that curling picture? Because I swear Joe, you look like you could be in the curl.
There you go. Look at that. Look at these guys ripping darts back in the day, Joe.
Dude, I'm just telling you right now. That was me in my living room when the Olympics started with a Swiffer in my hand and a pack of Pall Malls, man. And that was it. I was going right in the hallway, man. That was it. Bowling ball took out 3 walls. Now we got a lot of plaster all over the place. So yeah, we've had to change a few things here, but I'm with you. I was all about the curling.
For the colorized version, you'll have to go to @Joe Raineri on Twitter for the colorized version of this of Joe.
Fantastic stuff. Gotta love it,
man.
Love it.
I wonder how many frats across the country have turned their hallways into curling.
Yes,
just rolling beer cans.
Yep.
I know at least one frat in Iowa that transformed at least their basement, but we don't have to bring that up here.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely. You get a nice linoleum tile floor, something along those. Get a couple of Swiffers and a couple of bocce balls, and you're good to go, man. Just have fun with it. Make sure you know somebody in the drywall business, though, because it got a little hairy there. I'm not going to lie. Got a little crazy.
Well, we got a bunch of NBA games tonight, Joe, and we're going to do Pistons and Knicks, Celtics and Warriors. This Pistons and Knicks. I don't think Beef Stew's playing in this one because I think he got suspended. But man, I hope we see these two. I hope we see these two teams in the playoffs because there might be more fights in that series than on the next UFC card. This is turning into a really nice rivalry. I love everything that the Eastern Conference is doing. But this game tonight, Knicks -4.5, over under 220.5. Smells like a rock fight to me. What do you make of this game?
And that's exactly where the market is moving it, right? And we've also seen nothing but Knick money here. Now, got to double check the reports. One report said Anunoby was going to be questionable, maybe a game time decision. Another report came and said that no, he is good to go. But we're hearing conflicting stories about whether he is actually going to be suiting up for the Knicks here tonight. We know that Jalen Duren and Stewart are not available for the Pistons here because of that fight with Charlotte before the All-Star break. but we've also seen these two teams play twice already, right? And we've seen both times the Pistons, no matter who they threw out there, had no problem just beating the snot out of the Knicks. 129-90, I think, early January, 118-80 on February 6th. So, we've had no problem. This Pistons team has had no problem, and all they keep doing, it feels like, is taking shots, right? Everyone keeps waiting for the shoe to drop here with the Pistons, but I get it. They weren't exactly that great here over the last couple of seasons. What were they, 14-68? But they got the best record in the NBA at the break here, and now they go to the Garden. They've already played them twice. Yeah, Duran's a big loss here, but something tells me you want to keep pushing the Knicks up here. If this thing gets to 5.5, Andy, I will be firing on the Pistons here tonight. And don't be shocked. You're right. The total keeps dropping here, but it might, if it gets under 220 or 219.5, may have to fire away on the over too, because you're going to beat the Knicks by scoring on them. And they haven't had a problem doing that the first two times they've played.
Yeah, I've got over on Karl Anthony Towns making that stupid face when he commits a foul 40 feet away from the basket on like a moving screen.
That's every play, by the way.
He's like,
every play. He's fouled every time. It's amazing. Unreal. Yeah. Every time. Even in practice, he has that face like every time he's practicing it at practice. Like, what? What do you mean? What's going on? Yeah, no, same stuff. Same thing.
When the Final Four was here in Indianapolis, I'll never forget. This was way back when, but it was Mike Krzyzewski, and he had his Duke team, and we got to go in and do some interviews, and we were watching them do warm-ups. They were practicing doing layups and yelling and one.
Yeah,
that was an actual thing that they were like practicing, was doing a layup and then just screaming and one. Practicing yelling at the refs.
Listen, you know what I mean? Anything to gain an edge. They call it madness for a reason, Andy, right? Anything to gain yourself an edge. That's what I'm talking about.
Same face when I lose by half a point. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We've been there.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're done that. Yeah.
Yes.
Celtics versus Warriors. I got a player prop coming up in this one. But Boston, can we say Boston biggest surprise of this season, Joe? Did anyone see this coming? I got them in Phoenix as like the two teams that I didn't see this coming.
I agree, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out, is it that this Celtics team is just that good, or is everybody else in the East that ass? Because it's, you know what I mean? It's like, listen, we knew with Jaylen Brown and what they had coming back here that they were certainly going to be competitive. But, call me crazy. I thought we'd see a little bit more competition in the East than what we've done. I mean, there's clearly the haves and the have-nots in the East, but yeah, I mean, Cleveland can't cover a game to save their life. They finally seem to have maybe put some things together, but, they haven't been good. The Miami's a 500 team. The Knicks were terrible until right around December when they called the team meeting. So you don't know if Embiid's ever playing or he's not playing. But the Celtics, though, have quietly won the games that they're supposed to win. And here's how you know that, Andy. They're 35-19. They have covered the spread in 69% of the times that they have been favored this year. 69%. So if they're favored for a reason, which tells me they're winning the games, Andy, that a lot of other teams sometimes who play down to competition might lose. Boston's not doing that. They're dominating when they're a big favorite. They're dominating when they're a favorite at all. I mean, it's kind of hard. And now here they are, 5.5-point favorite that they've been bet all the last 24 hours. Once we learned that Steph Curry was out and what's the prop on Porzingis lasting to the second quarter? Like, you got to be kidding me here. But great to see Porzingis in a Warriors uniform. Is it going to help him tonight? No. This total was as low as 212 earlier. We're starting to see it looks like a little bit more over money come in. Listen, Boston, all they do is shoot from three, and they're very good at it. So I don't care what the pace is. If Boston is on tonight, I like the over in the game as well, but my money would only be on the Celtics to get this done here.
It's a great stat. 69% of the time they cover when they're a favorite.
That's-
Joe, Cleveland traded for James Harden.
Yes.
Like they didn't trade James. They actually were like, we need to acquire James Harden. To me, that doesn't exactly say we feel great about our team in the playoffs, Joe.
That's well, I mean, listen, if you're looking for ISO ball, like congrats between Donovan Mitchell and Harden. That's going to be a good time. I hope nobody else is planning on shooting it all though for the Cleveland Cavs. But look at them. You mentioned it early with the tanking. What are they laying? 16 tonight at home against the Nets? I mean, welcome to the second half of the NBA season where everybody's tanking, and we're going to have these 16, 17, and 18-point lines that are going to be on a nightly basis.
Disgusting.
Are you taking the 16 and a half with Brooklyn, though? That's
right. That's the problem. Like, what am I? So there are all of these teams that are awful, like Brooklyn. No, there's going to come a line in the sand in each of these games where it's just going to be so overbet that it's like, I'll take the 17 and a half points here and let's see where, you know what I mean? I'd rather do that than it's not like Cleveland is some sort of ATS machine this year. They've been burning money left and right. So, and really, at this stretch, isn't it just about, win and go home? There are no style points here. Like, there's no need for the back door is going to be available all day long. The Nets are filled with a bunch of young guys playing for their next contract. Cleveland's playing with Harden. So I can promise you there's not going to be a whole lot of effort in the fourth quarter when they're up 16. There's just not.
True. Very good point.
It's a really good point. What do you look for in the second? It's basically the last third of the NBA season.
Yeah.
Do you look at trying to focus on these massive spreads? You look at focusing on teams seem a little bit motivated. What's your focus and strategy moving forward?
Forget it. There are some teams on the, oh, hell no. Like, absolutely not are we betting on these teams. I mean, I count alone 8 teams, 9 teams here that have already made a conscious decision that we have no interest in winning any more games. And who can blame them, Andy? If you watch any college basketball this year, I mean, this has got to be one of the greatest freshman classes filled with guys that are franchise game changers coming out of college basketball that I can remember in a very, very long time. There are a lot of guys worth losing games for to try and get in there. So it doesn't shock me that we have this many teams doing what they're doing, but you got to be it makes betting the NBA early virtually impossible moving forward, Andy. It really does. Trying to figure out or guess as far as whether or not a team like Cleveland is going to put their best foot forward against a team that is tanking on a nightly basis makes it very difficult anymore to bet anything overnight in the NBA or early in the morning. I'd rather wait as long as possible and make sure I have all the information when I'm dealing with teams that are playing for something and teams that aren't, to make sure that we know exactly who's going to be on the court. The NBA is supposed to get better with the injury report. Yeah, no, didn't they find the Pacers in Utah before the break for apparently sort of pseudo tanking and not being honest? You can't control it.
No, we were talking just before you got out. So 2 of the teams that are obviously tanking are the Wizards and the Pacers. They play tonight. And I, as a Pacer fan, we need to lose everything. And I just love this. I'm reading this live. Pascal Siakam has been ruled out for Thursday's game due to personal reasons. They're not even hiding it. It's not ankle hurts, hamstring, but why would you? I love the Wizards. I love the Wizards at plus money.
And they're already taking money. Absolutely. And they should. You know how fun it's going to be watching teams like the Pacers and Washington play where neither team wants to win. Now, like, how do you go out there and purposely you can't do what Utah did unless there's anybody else who needs surgery. Have you guys heard of anybody else that needs surgery? Because that's the latest thing. Like, everybody, you know what? Surgery. It's got to
go under the knife.
I got to go under the knife. That's the NBA right now. If you have a guy no, he's got to go have surgery. Unbelievable.
The Wizards are starting Tristan Vukcevic. I've never heard of this guy.
Great.
I've never heard, like they're putting out G League teams. Pretty funny.
On a nightly. Good luck betting that early. Good luck. Nope.
The NBA set up the system, and now they're fining teams for playing into the system. Give me a break.
Well, they've also made it impossible for teams to rebuild any other way.
That's a great point.
Tank. I mean, what do you think the second apron did to teams here? You changed everything because you didn't want everyone on a banana boat, right? In August, like planning like how we're all going to show up in the city. And now you've made it where the only hope teams have of actually getting back up is like, what else do they got to do? And
burn it to the ground.
They got to burn it to the ground. That's it. You can't put a team of veterans together. Heaven forbid. So they created their own problems. You're absolutely correct.
What do you have up for everyone at Wager Talk today, Joe?
My first 5% NBA max play of the season is up here. Love this spot on the card here tonight. Absolutely love it. I think there's nothing but value here. Way too much value to pass up. That's available over at WagerTalk.com. And a couple of great college basketball teams here tonight with great value as well. That's in a package. All of that is up at WagerTalk.com.
Joe, before we let you go, you do have the best betting show. It's if it's not up on the channel yet, it will be there rather soon. It's every single weekday. Carmine Bianco, who's been in the chat, he was able to unearth this image for us. I see that you were indeed curling. I don't see any cigarettes with you.
No,
but it looks like AI Joe and AI Prez were having a great time there. Stuff.
Yeah, that is so fake, I can't even begin to tell you. The idea of getting that close to the Prez, I'm already busting out in hives. So I can tell you right now that is not the case in any way, shape, or form. But that looks very familiar. That looks like something we might have been doing up at a Bills Mafia game there up in Buffalo. That's kind of what we're dressed like there. But come on, Prez. If you got Prez to crouch like that, you'd never get him off the floor.
This is very true.
Here.
It's also funny to me. This is why you gotta love AI. Is Prez looks like an extra from The Sopranos?
Yeah,
that looks like if you ordered a Prez on Temu. That's what would show up at your door.
Exactly. Just try to watch him. I want to see the next picture of him getting up from that position. That
is on his back.
Yeah, that's it. I want to see that too. Ridiculous. Yeah. By the way, that is up and ready to go there. So good stuff.
Love it. Yeah, check that out. Best betting show ever. Whether it's Marilyn, whether it's Art DeCesar, you got Brian Power on there, and I'm sorry that happens to you a couple times throughout the week, Joe. But it's a great program. People should check out. A lot of fun that you guys do, and the picks have been rolling. So keep it going, Joe. Best of luck on that 5%er, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Good luck, guys. The struggle is real, man. It's real.
Every day with Prez, man. I mean, the guy deserves. If you're not hitting the subscribe button, the dude has to hang with Prez every single day. Come on, hit the subscribe button, and then you'll know when that show goes live. You'll never miss it, man.
Absolutely. We got to bring in Kyle Anthony, and let's bring in Kyle. Kyle doesn't know it, but we're gonna.
What up, Kyle?
What's going on, guys? That was it. Great graphic, by the way. Great graphic.
AI is insane, dude. It's just like it's uncanny valley, and nobody loves it more than Carm. Carm's like, dude, screw clean drinking water. I'm gonna have stupid pictures of my friends. This is what I need.
That's great.
Kyle, we're going to give away a 3-day pass to somebody. We're going to build a parlay. We're going to take your 2 picks, and then I'll throw 2 of them in there as well. I hope you're having a better morning than Dan Hooker is.
I
heard that. That was rough, Kyle.
Plot twist.
Rough.
All kinds of. Going on there. He had another chick. Then there's a dude involved. He's married. It was like his wife imploded.
The one thing, Kyle, that you never cross the ladies who know everything. If you know what I'm saying, that
she had it all.
The people who are connected, so to speak, Kyle, you don't piss them off. because you are done.
Man, and she had
Any
the
skeleton in the
receipt
closet.
on top of receipts in
no.
that one. I mean, she was like sitting there in her phone. She's like, I'm going to use this. Oh, if he ever pisses me off, I'm using this.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, you got to go on over to Twitter. We won't unearth the whole entire thing.
Yeah,
but basically, a huge story of this, fighter who, he got all of his dirty laundry aired out, and oh my God, is it a bad case? But dude, like you said, Kyle, she had a better case laid out for that than some public defendants. You know what I mean? Like if I'm about to get tried and I'm a defendant, I'm like, yo, get that girl on the case. That's what
she's like, let's bring up exhibit A, B, and C first. I've got more, but let me start with these first three and just see where the public goes with this. Holy shit.
Brutal, man. Brutal.
All right. Well, let's try to be better.
Let's transition.
Betting
Reel
than
it back
Dan
in.
Hooker is at hiding his double side, his personal life. So, Kyle, we're gonna go to the main event and the co-main, and I absolutely love these two plays. So let's start with the main event. It's Fluffy Hernandez. It's Sean Strickland. To me, my only question is Fluffy healthy from the injury that he suffered in the fall? And I got to believe he is, because I don't think his team or him would accept this fight if they weren't, because this guy's on the edge of a title shot, and you don't screw around with that. So how do you break down the main event? Sean Strickland, Fluffy Hernandez.
Yeah, so in the main event, we've got Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. He's sitting around minus 275. In the comeback here, we've got Sean Strickland plus 230. And we all know what we're getting from Hernandez here. It's just incredible pace, weaponizes his cardio, is fantastic at pushing forward, crashing the pocket, really smothering opponents. It's just something he's consistent at, and he knows what he's good at. He doesn't start boxing all of a sudden. He will stick to the game plan, continue to break his opponents round after round. While you look at Sean Strickland on the other side here, he does have some grappling. He does that, has that in his back pocket, doesn't use it very much. And primarily he's a boxer, going to use a 1-2 combination, try to get into that boxing range, use his jab, use some teep kicks. Now he does have a 76% takedown defense rate, which is good, but I do believe it's a little bit misleading here. Over his last 8 fights, opponents are 8 for 16 on takedown attempts. And some of these guys don't have the gas tank, don't have the wrestling that Fluffy does have. You have Imavov was 0-1 on takedowns. He gassed out. Abus Magomedov, who I'm not very high on at all, who was 1 for 2 on takedowns, gassed out, lost in the second round. Even the Dricus fights, I thought they were both very interesting, because the first one, Dricus was 6 for 11 on takedowns, didn't have as much control time, but still was successful getting takedowns. And then in his second fight, he didn't really even shoot. He was 1 for 2 and was able to just outland Strickland over the 5 rounds. And, what you're looking at is none of those guys really possess the cardio, the pace, the wrestling of Fluffy. I mean, really nobody in the division pretty much does have all of those tools. And that's what he's going to do here on Saturday night. He's going to push forward. He's going to look for those takedowns. Again, he's not going to get away from the game plan. He, out of his last 7 fights, he has 48 takedowns with 66 minutes of control time. Just absolutely off the charts good. It just shows that he's able to really force these opponents to be more defensive than they are offensive. And that's where he's going to stay in your face. He's not going to get tired. And that's where he's just going to rinse and repeat consistently. And you look at the striking wise here, striking wise, definitely Sean is going to have the advantages. But the biggest issue for Sean is the fact he doesn't have power. He's not threatening. He's not dangerous on the feet. It's more death by accumulation, landing a lot of shots, and then finding opportunity there. And I just don't really see him even being able to kind of keep Fluffy off of him, because most of the guys that have hurt Fluffy are explosive strikers. They're explosive kickboxers. That is not Sean Strickland here. And where I'm going with this play, obviously, I do like Anthony Fluffy Hernandez here. I do believe he wins by decision here. That's sitting around plus 150. You look at Sean Strickland, he's only been finished 2 times in his professional career. Both of them were by knockout. It was by Alex Pereira and Zaleski dos Santos. He's never been submitted. I think he can survive here. I do believe that Fluffy's going to have a dominating performance here. If this gets to the scorecards, I think it's a 4-1 for Fluffy, and I think it's pretty clear. So I do like Fluffy here by decision at plus 150.
Move on to Geoff Neal, Uros medic. Geoff Neal gives one of the crazier interviews and talks about. I'll let you touch on this one. I get a sober Geoff Neal. I'm all in on Geoff Neal. How do you break this fight down?
Yeah, so you got Geoff Neal here. He's sitting around that minus 215 mark. On the comeback here for Uros, it's plus 180. And you've got Uros. He's a kickboxer, explosive, 100% finish rate. Out of his 12 victories, 10 by knockout, 2 by submission. And he's a guy that's a kill or be killed. He is going to come forward. If he hits you, he's going to look to swing for the fences, try to get that finish. He leaves himself very vulnerable in those situations. We've seen it multiple times. Out of his last 10 fights, 7 have ended in the first round. He's only been to the third round 1 time in the UFC. While you've got, Geoff Neal, he is, again, this is something else you could do some research on his past where he's, was an alcoholic, drug user. Now he is clean, sounds a lot more focused here. And he's a kill kind of fighter as well. He's aggressive here. And I think what he does is he moves forward here. He smothers the kicker. He crowds the kicker, really closes that space, doesn't allow Uros to really get off any kicking arsenal here. Plus you have, Neal, he's going to be having a 4-inch reach advantage. I think that's going to help very much as well to be able to land the more damaging, impactful shots. And really, the thing here is that if he leaves himself that exposed and looking to swing, I really favor Geoff Neal in those pocket exchanges. And then you also got to add in the strength of schedule here. I mean, Neal has faced the far better competition between these two, especially since 2021. He's only losing to elite level fighters. Carlos Prates, who, was right on the brink of a title shot as well. And he had a good account of himself up until the spinning back fist. Ian Gary, another, close fight. And then he fought Shavkat Rakhmonov. While you're seeing Uros get, slapped around and rocked wobbled by guys that are not that good. And yet he's been able to come back even in losses here. So you even look at his losses, all 3 losses for Medic are inside the distance. 2 of them are by knockout here. So I think that this is going to be Geoff Neal by knockout. I think he comes forward. I think the price of minus 120 is very good here. The likely outcome is someone's getting splattered here, but I do believe it's going to be Geoff Neal getting the job done. And I think it's a pretty solid price here.
All right, Kyle, let's build a parlay. You gave us 2 pieces. We're taking Hernandez by decision. We're taking Geoff Neal by KO. So I'm going to put 2 legs in here. And all you guys have to do is leave in the comment section after the show your WagerTalk username. If me and Kyle hit this parlay, we're going to give a 3-day pass here. I like violence on this card. Do I have your permission to put the Zach Reese, Michelle Pereira to not go the distance in there?
Yeah. That's a leg worth throwing in there.
All right. And then let's see. Do you like I like Del Valle over Levitt. I like Lebesnoyani over Phil Rowe. Are there any other pieces that you kind of like? Any other props?
Another one that I know that I like it might be it's on the plus money side here, but I like Brahimaj by submission. Within the first 2 rounds, that's like plus 210, and out of his 13 wins, 12 are by submission, and they're normally in the first or second round. So I kind of like that. I think there's a ton of value on that number.
All right, we're doing that one. We're doing Brahima. Yeah, because Soriano is going to try and wrestle, and he's going to stick his neck.
No, so I feel like he's going to he's going to leave his head in the wrong spot, and Brahimaj is, he just latch onto your neck real quick.
All right, so by submission, plus 150. All right, so we got Hernandez by points, Neal by KO, Brahima by submission, and the Reese and Pereira fight to not go the distance. Ooh, 12-1.
Ooh. All right. Winner.
Count me in. 12-1. That's all I
with a good time.
12-1. I was literally hitting my accounts while you guys were talking. I was like putting in the legs. I was like scrolling down. I was like, fuck, I don't know.
That one feels good. That one feels good.
12-1. I'm in, boys. And if you guys want to be in, hey, tail the bet, throw a little pizza money on it. But if you want to potentially win a free 3-day flex pass, there's a free roll here, folks, on riding with this game here or riding with this parlay. Just comment. Leave in your comment your WagerTalk username. It's that easy, folks. And then you don't have to do anything else. You drop the comment, and we're going to pick one of you once this parlay hits. If this parlay hits.
Yes.
I didn't make it, so I'm allowed to be like, it's a guarantee. Knock on wood.
It's a guarantee. The can't miss parlay.
The can't miss. Can't miss.
Oh no.
I kiss a death. That's on me. It's on me, guys. You can comment below. Dan's a dick, but then make sure you leave your WagerTalk username. Just leave your WagerTalk username, but you can leave that in.
Kyle, you got a big play up this weekend. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I actually really love this card from a betting perspective here. I think there's a lot of great spots. Like Andy said, there's some good violent spots as well. I do have a 5% up right now. I have 7 plays in total right now. I'm actually probably going to add to that a little bit here. Again, most of the time I'm in that 4 to 5 range. This could be about 8. Love the spots here. And last 5% we had was on Benoit Saint-Denis inside the distance, minus 125. So feeling good about keeping that roll going with these 5%.
All right, Kyle. Absolutely. Yeah. I have 1 play up. Don't get mine. Go get Kyle's. Kyle has a much more stronger, favorable read on this card. So I'm telling you right now, go get Kyle's plays. You don't even need to bother with my. I think I have 2% play up. So whoop-dee. Get Kyle's.
Yeah, I'm smashing this one. So we'll see.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude. What an incredible call on Saint Denis inside the distance. Pretty much a no sweat. So congratulations on that call and keep it up, Kyle. Let's hit this 12-1. Can't wait to talk to you. Oh, by the way, Kyle, while I have you here, have you looked at the lines for next week?
No, I didn't dive into them. Why?
You're not gonna believe this. So this is why it pays to watch like guys that do this for a living. Kyle, let me read you the lines for UFC next week. Okay. minus 535, minus 245, minus 430, minus 480, minus 530, minus 500, minus 650, minus 350, minus 250, minus 530. Francis Marshall is minus 530, if that tells you anything, and minus 250, minus 520, minus 290. Yeah, these are the lines that we're dealing with next week.
And this is why I glanced over it and I was like, all right, I got, let me focus on this week's card. Because I remember I was like, holy shit, wow, it's
gonna
be an interesting card. A lot of messages of victory.
Parlay every favorite. It can't lose.
Yeah, it's another guarantee. It's another guarantee.
I'm kidding. Obviously, disclaimer.
Wow.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, so
Good
Kyle and I
stuff,
are
Kyle.
gonna have to do some deep dives and figure out a way to make money off of next week's card, but we got you covered. So thank you, Kyle. Good luck this week. Let's catch that 5%, brother.
All right, guys. See you next week.
Thanks, Kyle. Yeah,
Dan, we had
disgusting, Andy.
Dude,
that card?
These are not good fighters that are minus 530 and all that stuff. So we have a really good conversation going on in the live chat here. So I want to bring this up here. How do you control yourself when betting? I try to bet unit size for some reason. I always get triggered and start over betting. Yeah, it's really easy, really easy to do. You mentioned college basketball in UConn. I will just tell you, I have a rule that I do not live bet the daily sports. I don't live bet basketball, baseball, any of those. In fact, there's 2 sports that I will live bet: UFC and tennis. That's it. Those are the only ones that I think you have an actual edge. If you are betting on the daily sports, which I do, we have props and all that stuff. Those are just those are a lot smaller than, for example, Dan, your lacrosse plays. I bet more on Dan's lacrosse plays because that team plays once, maybe twice a week. It's much more predictable than these daily sports.
Great point.
Yeah, if you're betting the daily sports, I would make them a much more smaller fraction of your bet size, and I think you'll find you have more success. And I would get live betting out of your head on the daily sports. It's a long-term losing proposition, in my opinion, trying to live bet college basketball, NBA, baseball, NHL, those. That's just my opinion. The only success I've ever had live betting is UFC and tennis. And once you put a bet in on one of these daily sports, that's it. You're done. Just get it out of your head and move on to the next one. Dan, I don't know if you have any other
and Andy, I think that's one of the toughest things when you're talking about the ease of access. You know what I mean? It's right here in the palm of your hand. While Andy's breaking down a game there, I'm able to get, some of these back end plays in, maybe some of the VR said earlier. But the ease of access is where it's really tough, because the thing that was always for me when I was going into the sports book or I was going to the casino, I was get the cash out. I was take the credit card out of the wallet guy. You know what I mean? I would come with a bankroll that I had for this, and that's how you have to approach it, even though you already have your account locked into this thing. You already have the ability to add more money in, put a pool of money in, and set a limit. And to be honest with you, Andy, if that's something that you can't quite get a grip on, then maybe it's time to take a little bit of a step back. The last thing that we want, and you want, is to have what is potentially some extra income for you, or for many of us, what is to be entertainment. If it starts becoming into a little bit more of a compulsion, that's where you have to do a little bit of self-reflection. So what Almo Watch is bringing up there isn't something that's unique to his situation. You know what I mean? This is something that everyone who enjoys something struggles with. You can get addicted to driving through the drive-through, folks. So, if something feels good, and Hit and Bet certainly does, you have to take it with a bit of responsibility and a little bit of an onus on yourself too, to take a little bit of reflection. So Almo, I don't think it's anything that you can't get under control. I think be disciplined. Like Andy said, don't chase your losses. If you get your ass kicked, guess what? The best bettors in the world get their ass kicked. There have been times when Bill Krakenberger, who's doing, $1,000 bets, $2,000, $5,000 bets, comes on here on Monday and he got his ass kicked over the weekend. You know what he's not doing is going back and chasing those losses. Cut your losses. Make sure the car's gassed up. Make sure the lights are on in the house. Make sure, you and the family are fed. And then if you got a little extra Skrilla on the side, that's where you have a little bit of fun, or that's where you start building your bankroll and taking a serious approach. But the serious approach, Andy, goes hand in hand with being disciplined and being able to keep yourself disciplined. I know it's tougher than it sounds, but I believe in you. I believe in you, Amlo. You came to the right place, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's bring in Andrew. Let's talk hockey, and at the end, we're going to do our
Andrew.
WTF.
What's up, guys?
Looking spiffy. Like that jacket.
No, we missed you, buddy. How you been?
It's great to see both you guys. Really, really good show so far. Hopefully I can close it out on a good note. If I can, I'll just contribute to two things. Earlier, you were talking about the tanking stuff with the NBA, and we all know how that goes. Kind of interesting. The PWHL, the relatively new women's hockey league, they have a system where the bottom teams get put into a certain bracket and they actually have to sort of compete for the number one overall pick. So it's yes, you guys are the worst teams, but now the worst teams are going to compete for the number one overall pick. So it's kind of they make it very clear, if this team goes winless, you're not guaranteed that first overall pick. So it's kind of cool to see a league developing that. And I got to mention this. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but people that say watching, people will say oh, well, don't watch, watchers can be the ones that get carried away the most. One thing that helps me for sports betting and to the previous comment you guys were just addressing, I am a diehard Montreal Canadiens fan, Blue Jays fan, Green Bay Packers fan. When I watch those games, I have zero urgency to bet. I love the teams. I love that. So I find that if you're having a tough time, and some people say that, oh, well, don't watch, and, maybe don't toss on the Tennessee Titans, maybe don't toss on the Athletics in MLB action, because if they're so dog shit, you're probably going to have no choice but to toss a bet on the game. So for me, what helps me is remembering why we all love sports. And if you're watching a sporting event because you love that team and you love the game, you don't have to worry about placing a bet down.
Yeah, I think, and that goes hand in hand too, Andrew, with standalone. You have to have a pick on Monday Night Football here on Wager Talk Today. You have to have a pick on Thursday Night Football. Whenever there's the standalone events, you don't have to bet everything just because it's on TV. You know what I mean? That's also somewhere, where you get in trouble. But Andrew, the folks are pumped that you're back. Clearly they're missing puck time, because Block is saying that means hockey is back. That's right. We got some hockey plays for you here, folks. And of course, Rob liking that you're classing the place up with the blazer. Looking good, buddy. And the hair's looking even better. Let's talk here about some of these Olympic hockey matches going tomorrow. Friday, and I think this one is 10:40 a.m. Eastern time, and that's Finland taking on Canada is where we'll kick it off. I'm looking here, and it's looking like 2.5 goal favorites, minus 380. Talk about big favorites on the money line. Is this Canada side, as they are primed to head on back to the gold medal game here as they're taking on Finland. Total is 5.5. How's the tournament been for you first, Andrew? And then how are you looking to attack this one?
It's been such a pleasure following this tournament, handicapping it. I've been doing work with thehockeynews.com every day. So talking to reporters that are actually in Milan right after the games are over, after they speak to the teams and the players. It's been so much fun to cover it. 12-4 run for me, 75%, 5% play in pocket for tomorrow. So can't wait for that. Got a promo code for you guys as well. So it's been great. It's so weird, guys. We have goal lines or puck lines that have looked like NBA or NFL lines. Like we're talking 4.5, 5.5 goals,
Crazy.
It's been very, very weird, but I love the international hockey. So looking at Canada versus Finland here, this is going to be one of those games where I'm isolating the first period. Now, Finland, for them, they had to come back. They were down 2-0 against Switzerland. They won that game in overtime. And for a lot of the games in the tournament, we didn't see super, super tight games and not really any overtime games. In the quarterfinals, we saw 3 of the 4 games go to overtime. But for Team Canada, they got battle tested and they hadn't faced much adversity. They won 5-0, 5-1, and then a 10-2 game. So in the quarterfinals, you face more adversity than those 3 lopsided victories. It's kind of good sometimes in these tournaments to get punched in the mouth a little bit here. So when I look at this game, I look at Finland. It's good for them that they kind of pulled it off. But I think the -0.5 goal in the first period at +105 is a good bet for Team Canada. Throughout the tournament, you weren't able to get any prices like +105 on first period wagers. But if there's one thing we know we're going to get from Canada in that semifinal, it's going to be a good start. To be humbled, to face adversity in a tournament like this is a good thing. And I just think that Finland's very, very talented. They've had a good tournament. They beat Sweden. Obviously, they're coming off that win against Switzerland. But, I don't know if they can match up Canada line for line, at least early in the game. So I'm going to go with the first one, Canada -0.5 goal in the first period. So on the win line. I just think when you're a Team Canada, you face that adversity. There's 5 minutes to go in the game. You're very close to losing in the quarterfinals. I think it's a real wake-up call for them.
So a little kick in the ass there for Team Canada has Andrew backing them early. That's the way that he's betting that one here. And also, folks, again, remind you, he's got that 5%er rocking. And before we talk Slovakia and USA, Andrew, I mean, when you're on a 12-4 run, people probably want to run, don't walk, and grab this thing before it moves. And they can use code HOCKEY15, right? Head on over your page, use HOCKEY15. Tell them about, obviously you mentioned how the tournament's been going there, but, excited about this play, man. And I know this is something you don't take lightly, firing off a 5%er in Olympic hockey.
Absolutely. I didn't have a 5% the whole tournament. I barely had any 4% plays, a lot of 3%ers. So if you guys want to get this, make sure to use the promo code HOCKEY15. And also, I don't always say this, hockey numbers don't often move too much. This one will. So get it as fast as you can to make sure you get the best price you possibly can. HOCKEY15. Just cannot wait for it, guys. The games yesterday, as I mentioned, 3 of 4 games in the quarterfinals go to overtime. This is where it matters the most. The elimination stage. It's been so awesome. For the next game, I don't know if I'm in a hurry, guys, or if I just have no reason to place wagers on the full game. But I'm going to go right back to the first period. We're going to try and make money in 20 minutes once again, and I'm going to go with the over 1.5 in the first period here. Slovakia is the story of this tournament. They won their pool, and nobody saw that coming. That pool contained Sweden and Finland. So for Slovakia to win that pool, big shocker to a lot of people. In the quarterfinals, Slovakia had a little bit of a rest because they won the pool. Germany had to qualify. Second half of back-to-back for them. And Slovakia kicked ass from start to finish. Specifically in that first period, they looked very strong and confident. For USA, this team hasn't really faced adversity all throughout the tournament until the last few minutes to go in the game in the quarters, where they ended up having to go to overtime as Sweden tied it up late. That game was a 2-1 victory for Team USA. This game should have a lot more pace and a lot more scoring, but specifically early on in the game. I don't expect that same type of tight checking defensive feel we saw in Sweden versus USA yesterday. To me, Slovakia comes out hard and fast. Same thing for USA with the goal scoring ability they have. You're getting a generous -125 on this first period over Whereas throughout the tournament, guys, you've been getting like 150, 160, these horrific prices on the first period over. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact it's the semifinals. So let's get goals early on. I don't care who they come from. I want them early, over 1.5 in the first period.
I like it. Cash early and cash often, my man. Andrew, always a pleasure, man. And make sure you guys use that code hockey15, $15 off, 12-4 run. Let's cash another one, Andrew. Best of luck, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Good seeing you, man.
Great to see you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Check him out on Twitter as well, at McInnis Picks. All right, Andy, hour-long show here, and we still got free picks left to go for the folks. We're going to go all around the world here with Andy in just a few. Folks, reminder, comment below with your WagerTalk username. That is your way to be entered in for a free 3-day flex pass if the UFC 12-1 parlay hits. You're not only going to be a winner on that, you're going to be a winner here with a free 3-day flex pass potentially. Andy, real quick before we give him some more free plays before we shut things down, huge night tonight and weekend as we move forward for you and our team. There's a great lacrosse card that's coming this weekend, but tonight and in just about half an hour, Andy, we got some action that people should probably hop on now.
Yeah, it's our first 5% darts play we've had in a while. We've only done 3 of them lifetime. We hit all 3 of them. That starts at about 2:15, so coming up in an hour. So if you haven't grabbed that, it's half price, Johnny and them. So let's throw this thing up at half price, get people a little interested. Jan and I will be doing our live watch along. So if you want to go to the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel, just look up Winning in the Shadows. Jan and I will be live, do live bets. We do watch along commentary, so you can follow the darts play with that. As soon as that play goes off, we will have 2 4% rugby plays that go up. Jan crushing it in rugby, 2-0 last weekend. We've only put up 3 rugby plays. He's hit all 3 of them. So that's going to go off. We got 2 4% plays that start tomorrow. So as soon as this 5% darts play goes, then we're going to go to rugby. So free play was yesterday. That's on the over in Gerwin Price and Johnny Clayton, 9.5 legs. Still like that one. We had some, come on, Dan, somebody withdrew from the dark.
What are we doing?
Well,
what are we doing with draw?
Maybe he might have taken too much Ozempic. This is Michael Van Gerwen.
That'll happen.
I nicknamed him Ozempic because he randomly lost a lot of weight in a hurry, which tends to happen. But yes, he is out. So Luke Littler automatically advances the second round. It's gonna be a great night of darts. So let's do all around the world, and I'm gonna let you pick what's our WTF LFG play. So let's go around the world.
All right, I like it.
Yeah,
let's pull it up here, and then we'll decide which one we're gonna go with here.
Yeah, we're going to go back to our guy, Guy Santos, over 10.5 points. I think everyone kind of forgot about him, but this guy has been a cash cow. Went under in the last game before the All-Star break with 9 points, but he just had a really bad shooting night. He went over 7 games previous to that. He's been the one that's been the beneficiary on the Warriors of these guys being hurt, Jimmy Butler being out, Steph being out. Celtics are good on defense, but the worst position they defend is power forwards. He's getting 25 minutes, 10 field goal attempts. He's making 5 shots. Just had a bad shooting night last time, so we'll go for that one. Genesis round 1, Patrick Cantlay under 71.5 on the round 1 score. All he needs to do is shoot even par. It's raining there, Dan. I'm looking at it now. I think the greens are going to be pretty soft for these afternoon guys because the rain's going to stop. These guys are going to get really, really receptive greens. Patrick Cantlay plays great here. I think he goes under that. And this college basketball is from Brian Power, who's been on fire in college basketball. He's taking Arkansas Little Rock plus 2.5 versus Tennessee Martin. Brutal loss on Tuesday for Tennessee Martin. 4th game in 7 days. Tennessee Martin's shooting is 311th in 3-point percentage and 339th in free throw percent. I did not know there were that many teams.
Yeah. That's less than ideal. It's suboptimal, Andy.
True. So 300.
Well, Andy, out of these 3 picks that I got for you here, obviously will we like to tail Brian Power? We are. That's why we're doing this one. But as far as what we're going to enter in for our WTF or LFG, let us know if you're going to follow or fade it. Golf has been great for us, Andy. And yesterday we gave the Scheffler getting top 5. So let's go with can't lay under the 71.5 round 1 score, because then once we're grading all of these, Andy, because tomorrow's will be one of our client lacrosse plays. On Monday, we're either going to have a hell of a nice record and we're going to move up from 24 to 17, or we will regress rather resoundingly. I'm betting it will be the former as opposed to the latter, but let's go with Patrick can't lay under 71.5 first round score. Let us know you following or fading. And folks, when you drop that comment, make sure you leave your WagerTalk username. Hit that like button and subscribe. Andy, always a pleasure, man. Let's get out of here, buddy.
Let's do it. Live darts show starts in an hour. Join myself and Jan. Let's catch that 5%. Good luck on all your bets. We're going to be back to get you ready for the weekend. Same time, same place tomorrow. Good